to Tom's Garage. What's happening? What's happening, Lackland? Today, we are working on, it is a Honda HRN, I think it's HRN, let me look, let me make double sure. HRN216VKAA. There she is. She's taking a nap right now. Pick this one up. I have got, first thing I need to do, I think it's a pretty good mower, but the self-propel don't work. And that's the first thing we're going to fix. Yeah, this one's got, I've done some of these before. This one's got the little clip director, bag or mulch. And I'll show you what that does. You move the lever back and forth, and like right now, it'll mulch. But if you slide the little lever over here, it'll open up and you can bag. It'll shoot it right to the back, right back there. Or you can close it up and mulch with it. But we gotta get all that off to get that belt off. Boy, look at that belt. Ew. Wrapped around the shaft. I don't know. It come off the rear pulley. Yeah, that thing is, ew. That thing is ew. So, first thing we're gonna do is get the blade off, and I'll show y'all how to get all this off. This and this will come off as one piece, and we're not gonna have to remove this because I can lower that transmission all the way forward and it should clear that. So before you go tearing it all apart, don't do it. It ain't worth it. All right, let's get busy. Okay, to get this, you got to get this handle off. So this little bar it's hooked to, it'll slide through there. And all you do is you take, I don't know how well you can see that. There's a little hole. It has to be in one of the locked positions. See how this is spring loaded? So what you want to do is push, there's a little tab inside of there. Right in there. You push on that tab and it'll release that and you can pull that off. And there's a spring in there, don't lose that spring. And then put it back on, you just click it back on. That's all you do there. So let's get the camera set up and you can watch me struggle. It ain't easy to do. You got to find the little tab. You got to make sure it's in the right spot. Find the tab. Right in there. It's not easy. It ain't that easy to do, from my experience. Let me grab something a little stronger than that. Let's see, I'll use let's see, what can we use? A little punch. Tiny little punch. Just a little ground off nail set. It's got to be short, it's got to fit in there. Well, Fury. You know, it'd be a whole lot easier if I set the lawnmower down instead of having to reach across that 4-foot table. Let's try it like that. That way you can see it better. That way you can see it gooder. Now, you can see it better. Little hole right there. That punch I had might have been too fat. Too fast. Try this one. Get your fingers in there. Well, let me use that other one again. I think that one's too fat too. Phew. There we go. You got to get in there. You got to find this and push that down. And don't lose your spring. It goes right there. Whew. That will clip just on the other side of that. There's a little push down little piece that goes in there, and that goes behind it. Just like that. We win that battle. Phew. All right, put all my tools up. Okay, now we can go back to what we were doing. Let's get that blade off. That blade looks pretty chewed up too. Ew. It's a good blade though, but we're gonna have to resurface the edge of it right there. Looks like it's been used in gravel and acorns and all kinds of crazy places. I had to hose this thing off real good before I done this. This thing was just, it was just caked. Caked full of grass. Yeah, that edge ain't too awful bad. That'll sharpen up. It's the lift I'm worried about. It gets holes worn in it. But the blades are decent. The blades are decent. Okay, right here, you've got a Phillips head, a Phillips head, and a Phillips head. And this whole thing should come off as one piece. I know that's also easier said than done. Here. Maybe I'm just getting weaker in my older age. I don't know. That's all right. I ain't scared. Go the other way, boy. There's one. Just a little stainless Phillips head. And it just goes into plastic. Here's the other one. And another one here. There it is. And you've got in here, I'll have to show you real good. I've done a video on this before, I believe. You've got two little fingers. There's a plastic tab that goes back here, and there's another one. Let me find it. Just below it. There's one here. Well, it's going to be behind this. So what you do is you take it, and you just gotta work it out. Just gotta work it out. This needs to be. I'm trying to remember if you have to put it on mulch. I think you need to put it on bag. I think it has to be in this position right here. Yep, it does. I remember now. And see, the handle will just pull through. Whew, that's after I already cleaned it. What a mess. Okay, there's belt. Jumped off the pulley back here for some reason. You can see it's wrapped around that. Let me pull that off. Well, you don't have to pull that off. You can just take this belt keeper around here off. That's what I'll do. I'll use a 10mm to do that. All right, one little bolt right there. And then a bolt right there. And then you just walk it off. Walk it off. That's what keeps the belt from coming off that pulley right there. Yeah. Let's see, we're gonna have to get a razor blade, I'm afraid, and try to cut some of that stuff off. Unplug that spark plug, by the way. Let me reach around here and pull that plug off. Okay. All that belt string. Let me get a razor blade and cut all that off. I believe that's from the belt. Yeah, that's got to be from the belt. Boy, is my knife that dull? Grab my little side cutters. I think my razor blade's dull. Gotta change it. Here we go, just unroll it. Oh, there it is. I don't know what that is. Weed eater string, that's what that is. All right, there's that. And what I was telling you about the tabs, you got a tab that goes right there, and you got a tab that goes right there, there and there. Because when you put this thing back in, make sure those two tabs go in first. Then you can slide it in. Okay. Now we have got to get this transmission to push up, unhook the little cable, and it should come forward. You think you're going to have to take this off, but you're not. You can actually force it. Look at me grabbing the axle right here, this little thing. You have to take the wheels, I forgot to tell you, and go, let's see, all the way up. All the way up like that. That's just a little bit past the highest. And then you can just kind of force it. There we go. Now we have access to get a socket on this nut. Let me take my air hose and blow that off a little bit. Okay. And I believe that's going to be a 14, or I'm going to use a 9/16 depot because I got one handy right here somewhere. I think. I think I did. Let's see, where is one here? Let me see. Yep, there's one right there. 9/16 deep well. Change my adapter to a 3/8 adapter. Get that quarter off. Now what I like to do is try to put this belt back on, so that I'm going to use the belt to hold it. Because if the belt was on there, you can kind of grab it like that and hold that pulley while you're hitting it with the impact. There it goes. Just a little washer nut. Yeah, I'll let that fall off. I'll show you how to put that back on. Because when you turn that, all that does is it just clips into the bodywork. That holds it. It goes right there on the other side. All right. This pulley is going to come in half. Yep, there it goes. And when you put it back together, you got two holes. Well, you got three holes in a dimple. You got one dimple and three holes. And it just goes. So you're going to have a dimple and a dimple opposed to each other. Then you're going to have these two holes. Don't get it. Make sure you don't get it 90 degrees or 180 degrees. It's got a little slot right there to hold that shaft so it don't turn, so you can get a wrench on it. But if you can shock it with the impact, you can get it right off if you can hold it with the belt. That belt is nasty. I was hoping to get a part number off that belt. I didn't think I was going to be able to, though. This is a 22431-VR8-N03 is that belt. And I don't believe I have one. Let me hit pause. I'm going to dig around a little bit, see if I can find a belt for that. Hang loose. All right. I found a 22431-VE28000. And it seems pretty darn close. This one looks like the other one's a little bitty bit longer, but I think it's because it's so thin and stretched. All its guts are gone. We'll give this one a try. We're going to try it. We're going to try. Let's see, that's got to go through there like that. Got to go through there. That's got to go around there. Like that. Bring it over here. Don't lose the little washer behind this side of the pulley. All right, they're locked in there just so good. Uh-oh. Money. Okay. Don't you love it when one of your best friends butt dials you? And then when you try to call him back, he won't answer. Hee hee. Now we'll just feed this belt back up through yonder. Let's see what that's going to give us. Yeah, that belt may be a little, it may be a little short. We're going to have to do a lot of adjusting. A lot of adjusting. I don't believe I'm going to trust this belt. I think it's going to be too short. It is. It is. We'll hit pause again and go find another one. I got a bunch of them. All right, pow. Got me a belt, had to order it. But that's what we need, I believe. Now we're going to slap it on there. Slap her on there. Okay. Dimple, 180 degrees off from the other little dimple. The little dimples together. Okay. right. All right. Well, before I done that, I should have reached up here and put this little hook back on there, that little cable. Now we're going to put this spring back on there. Grab my flashlight and stick my head in there and look. Where'd you go, little rocket? Where did you hook? Right there. It goes on the side. Right there. Well, unhook that first. That way I can get the spring on there. There we go. Just like that. Bring this up. Don't get this on the inside of the belt. Make sure it goes on the outside. And there we go. There we go. And there we go. I'm going to grab my little clamp and I'm going to pull that engagement drive bar back so it's got tension on the belt. Well, not the bar, but the little thumb pedal. Well, that's found a good way to hook it. Found a good way to hook it. It ain't gonna let me. I want to engage it to see how much tension's on it. I'll just take its word for it. Put a little belt guide back on there. Okay. Okay. Now for the fun part. Tighten this thing back on there. Make sure it's open that way. You got two little tabs in there. You got to make sure you get in the little tabs. It's kind of hard to see, but you can put your hand over it and you can kind of feel it and guide it. Don't let it whoop you. Well, don't let it whoop you. All right. And I can feel back there, them little tabs were in. Everything works like it should. Put them 3 screws back in there. Ooh. Careful. Get in there. All right, there we are. Double check everything, spring, cable, belts in the correct position. All right, let's throw the blades back on there. Blades are sharpened. I done that while I was waiting for the belt. Don't get too ridiculous tight with that thing. Alrighty, now we'll flip her back over and put the little handle thing back in there. You could see the little tab. That little piece catches under right there. Putting it on is a whole lot easier than it is taking it off. All right. Spring goes over that little nippler right there, and it goes in that little hole right there in the top of that. And the little tab pointing down. Make sure you don't have it upside down. I don't think I do. Yeah, I had it upside down. Here we go. There's that. We got the oil and the fuel drained. So let's check the air filter. Air filter looks pretty good. Let me just blow it out a little bit. Okay. Back down, I think. I forget where it was, but it don't matter. Whoever ends up with it can put it wherever they want it. Okay, let's go right over here. Don't forget to plug the spark plug back in. One-handed. There it goes. Click. Click. Now let's put some oil in it. Give me a fresh rag. Yeah, this Honda here has got the longer dipstick. Usually it's down here and you got to get a funnel. I don't think I can do it without a funnel. I'm gonna wash this thing anyway if I dribble. That oil sure was black. Didn't have a whole lot in it either. Glub, glub, glub. Slowly. It's such a long, narrow dipstick tube, you gotta kind of go slow with it, or it'll fill up on you. Just a little dribble, dribble. Give that a second to settle down. See how narrow it gets right there? Either I got a little bit too much in it or it ain't settled down yet. Knowing me, I got too much in it. But if it's just a little too much, it ain't gonna really hurt it. Yeah, it looks like I got way too much in it. It's way up there. I think it ought to be down there. Well, yep, I think I'm gonna have to drain a little bit out of it. Because there's the little mesh, and I believe that's full there. Not that. That's just to hold it stable inside the dipstick tube, but the actual full mark is right there. Yep. Well, I don't know. I can't tell. That looks like it's perfect though. I think I'm just scraping the sides of the tube. I'm gonna give it just a little bit to settle down and get off that wall of the dipstick tube. Get a more accurate reading. Okay, while that thing settles down, I'm gonna put some fuel in it. Put some fuel in it. The little fuel valve I noticed is where you grab it with your fingers is just sheared off. I ain't gonna worry about replacing that. Nobody ever cuts your fuel off anyway. All right, let's take one more little reading here. I believe we're perfect. Yeah. That's why I always give it a minute to settle. All righty. Let's go over here. Let the table down. Fire it up. I'm sure I'm gonna have to adjust that cable. Oh, it's dirty. I'm gonna raise this thing up. Oh boy. Fire it up, see how she runs, if she runs at all. Well, okay. I don't have to adjust it at all. That thing's pulling good. Pulls nice and strong. Well, boys and girls, I appreciate y'all watching this Tom W video. Another one down. Now I don't have anything to do. Gotta go find something to do. Can't be bored. Love you, boys and girls. Thanks for watching another video. And we will catch y'all on the next one. Love you guys.